Okay, welcome to, I guess, the first official cast of DotaRadio.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here at Starladder Season 7, Day 3. I love how they label it for you at the top of the screen. That's so nice. It makes the asset creation that much easier. So, Game 2 for the day here. We did miss Game 1. It is going to be NEXT.kz facing off against Can't Describe. I'm Zyori. With me is APOC. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing really well. I'm really excited about this game because I know both teams. I mean, Can't Describe is an old CIS team, but they've been switching around and they just lost their... I think they lost their sponsor, but NEXT.kz is a really old team, been around since the beginning of Dota 2, and I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, should be interesting. I did get to see Can't Describe in Day 1 and some back and forth play. They're one of those teams that the games I've seen, they either dominated or got dominated. And I know they're a fan of the Lifestealer, so we'll be curious to see how they fare against NEXT.kz. Is this NEXT.kz's regular roster here, or have they been part of the roster swap following TI3?
No, they're kind of isolated. I mean, it's Kazakhstan, so they have little to no changes in their roster.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, they had a lot of changes since the beginning of the NEXT.kz in the Dota scene, but they've been together for some time right now.
Gotcha. All right, so let's talk about these bans and picks a little bit. NEXT.kz going to start us off with bans on Outworld Destroyer and Naga Siren. Can't Describe going to follow up with bans on Timbersaw and Wisp to start us out. Now, Batrider is going to be first picked here, followed by Darkseer and Visage, and then Nyx Assassin going to be second for the NEXT.kz roster. So the dreaded Batrider makes it into the pool here. We talked about Batrider and Wisp getting all that attention in TI3, and Can't Describe is going to let him slip. This is the first game I've seen a Batrider since TI3, so I'm kind of excited.
Well, Can't Describe didn't have a really big choice there because they had to ban the Wisp. Wisp is a really strong hero, and that Timberman, I think that Timbersaw is one of the strongest hero that you can play in a lane, and he can dominate every single lane with that passive ability of his, and when he gets the chakram, it's just ridiculous. His regen just is awesome with that passive. I think it was... I forgot about the name.
Yeah.
But he had a really awesome passive that if you get damage, you just regen like crazy.
Yeah.
And he's a really tough opponent to face off.
Yeah, Can't Describe, then going to take Weaver out of the field, and NEXT.kz going to throw that ban on Lifestealer. I think a smart choice here. I talked about Next Describe enjoying a little bit of Lifestealer play. And they're also going to take Bane off the field. So, an interesting mashup. I usually think of Bane as like one of the potential counters to Lifestealer, so it's interesting to see him banned right behind the LS.
They probably Can't Describe thinking about something to trade for. They probably have the same strategy, but they have a slot for a carry that is either Lifestealer or something else that's Magic Immune or something like that.
True.
And Bane is probably a counter to that too. So they...
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. It was banned by NEXT.kz. Probably NEXT.kz have something in mind that Bane counters. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Probably a right clicker because of the damage.
Yeah, I mean, they could still use a carry themselves. So and then Gyrocopter going to be taken off the field here from Can't Describe. And the fifth pick of the match is in the hands of our Radiant team. And still a lot of choices on the board. I love games when we get to see the Darkseer as well. There was a period of time where Darkseer was in that same point that Batrider and Wisp were, where he was just first banned every game, Darkseer and Furion. It's nice to see some replica action. I don't know. I like Darkseer. He's a weird mix of mechanics. I like.
Oh, he is. He's an awesome hero, and like before the International 3, I hadn't seen him being played with Shadow Blade with Blink Dagger. It was really awesome to see someone blink in and just vacuum everyone into a wall, and it was really great, crazy.
Yeah, that's a rarity for sure. Can't Describe going to round off their roster with a Rubik to complement their Visage and Darkseer. NEXT.kz going to pick that Chen almost right away. Seems like a no-brainer for NEXT.kz. Chen's on the board, and we're going to snag him. So both teams kind of carryless at the moment. I'd be curious to see where these teams go with these next two picks in terms of carry, which I imagine... They may want to pick up Queen of Pain going to be grabbed for Can't Describe. We talked about her as well and having a terrible record in TI3, but still getting some love here.
That's interesting, but I think she's gonna... I don't know, fucking Queen of Pain is a really really strange mid lane. I mean, it's really balanced mid lane in my opinion
Hmm.
because both heroes can provide a lot of burst damage,
Hmm.
and but I think Puck has the upper hand here
Yep.
because of her disables.
So I think this may be another game where poor Nyx Assassin is going to be slated to play that roaming support role and really not get too much in the way of experience or
Yeah,
farm in the early game. Where do you see the Bat Rider laning here? I usually think of Bat Rider as your ideal choice for mid, but obviously with Puck picked up.
Ultra
Um,
is a really strong hero in the offlane. In the jungle, he can jungle awesomely well.
mhm,
But in the offlane, he's really strong too. So
mhm.
they can either do one of these if they don't want if they want to put the Puck in the middle lane. I think Puck is really great against Queen of Pain, so
Hmm.
I think they will just lane it like that.
Yeah, I mean, this very well may be a game where we see those offlaners get sacrificed semi-early on as well. Luna going to be the last ban of the game coming out from NEXT.kz, followed, well, Alchemist preceding that, the last ban for Can't Describe. So the last picks are among us, plenty of bonus time for both sides, and both sides now in need of a hard carry. No agility except Nyx Assassin picked up yet, but
There we
obviously he's
go.
not doing much in the way of carry. But Anti-Mage going to be that last pick for Can't Describe to finish off their roster as Queen of Pain, Rubik, Visage, Darkseer, and of course the AM. Pretty well-rounded team.
Yeah, it is well run the team, but I don't know why would anyone um, pick the anti mage when you have so much disables on the other
Hmm.
side on the next KZ.
Yep.
And I'm sorry about my dog; it's just getting crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, Batrat is one of the counters to anti mage, just like Puck with his AOE silence and
Right.
disables.
And the Dream Coil, yeah.
I don't know why would they pick anti mage. Probably they have any strategy in mind, and there we go.
Yep. And Faceless Void going to be the last grab for NEXT.kz, and I'm going to be honest with you, buddy, I am not upset with that at all. For a while, I've been sort of joking in my head saying, I want to see a Faceless Void, I want to see a Faceless Void, and here we are. I have to admit, I like the NEXT.kz roster a little bit more, as you mentioned, Bat Rider being a strong counter to Anti-Mage. I think Faceless Void even does that role a little bit, because, of course, the most difficult thing with Anti-Mage is keeping him in one spot, and the Faceless Void ult does just that. So, we'll
I
see.
really love
Next,
Faceless Void picks, man. I really
yeah.
love the Faceless Void pick. I think it's an awesome hero. I really loved it in the old games that I played,
Yep.
in the first Dota and then in Han. I really love the Faceless Void hero. And I think it's a really good counter to that because he can just Chronosphere the Animage and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, so it will be a little rough, I think, for that Anti-Mage. We'll see what he can do. We'll see how the lanes unfold as well in the next couple of minutes here. Interesting that Furion and Enigma, both very powerful heroes, completely ignored in this game, not picked or banned, which is, I don't want to say strange, but just turning of the
Well,
tides.
Enigma hasn't been picked like in the last game.
Yep.
He has been sort of the even when you even though you can jungle with it, but either of the teams wouldn't pick Enigma here because
Yeah.
of the strongest Visage and Rubik.
Mhm.
You wouldn't have a place for him.
Yep.
I mean, in the jungle, on the other side on the next KZ, you have the Chen. He already has jungle, and you have Bat Rider. You don't really have a spot for him.
Yep.
And there's a
It's
Rubik
true.
on the field, so he can always steal the black hole and just black hole you.
Yeah.
That's kinda...
That's definitely a good point. We could see a little bit of early action here up near the top room. Visage going to be flying by. CD actually starting up in the dire jungle a little bit, scouting around. Some wards did get placed. They did get a nice ward block at the camp closest to the dire base. That is going to make Chen's life just a little bit more difficult. Let's go ahead and check out the rosters, though. CD going to have Sadoy on the Darkseer up in the top suicide lane. Reeves going to be playing the Nyx Assassin for NEXT.kz, and he's going to be laning with his buddy Mantis on the Faceless Void. The hard carry going to be going up against Darkseer up here. I'm sure Darkseer... well, we'll be pushed out of this lane a bit as things continue on. Of course, Chen going to be in the jungle being played by Equal. Right now, Stallcat in control. The Bat Rider is in the jungle just moving around. They're totally sacking that long lane, so I guess he's just going to stack and share the jungle with Chen. We did get to see some double jungle action the other day when we were casting. So not the most unheard of strategy, though does seem a bit jarring to leave an anti-mage free farming down here in the bottom lane. He's going to be controlled by Nexus on CD and free farm heaven down here. He does have support in the jungle. Of course, that Visage already creep pulling, and Zonder on the Rubik just moving around in the jungle, having a grand old time. So sort of that pseudo tri lane right now, solo anti-mage, but 2 supports nearby in the jungle. I think AM is going to be off to a fine start here.
Oh man, I think that this Batman is having a pretty rough time in the jungle because he stacked the camp and he's level 1 and he went for Firefly. But then there's this problem because these creeps have there's this Vol assassins that have envenomed weapon, so they're venomous. So he had a really pretty rough time with that first stack. He could have just pulled that into the creep wave, and not a lot of people know that if you have a Vol assassins, you can pull them into a creep wave because of the venom that they provide you, and the creeps will go after them because you're in venom and you're taking damage from them, even if they're not in your range of sight.
Ah, interesting. So you're certainly right, though. Stallcat off to a bit of a slow start. Batrider in the jungle is
He'll
slow.
catch up, though. He can spam that sticky napalm and just abuse the Firefly damage.
Yeah, hopefully. The issue here is, though, he's sharing creeps with Shen, and one of their big camps is blocked right now, so that just limits the amount of creeps they have available, and of course, you don't want to just kill the creep pull, because they are going to need it for lane control. It is not warded by the Darkseer. Right now, Mantis losing some lane control, getting up near the river, and Sadoy actually picking up a good bit of farm here. He's 5-0 against the 12-3 Faceless Void. That's not too bad for the offlane solo Darkseer, considering how close he is to all these enemies on the Dire side. Anti-Mage leading the way, though, 18-4 right now in creep score, still completely unchecked in free farm heaven. So a pretty comfortably stale game right now. Of course, Queen of Pain and Puck going to be in the middle lane. I think we skipped over that. Stallianer on the Queen of Pain and Wadafaka on the Puck. And right now it seems to be a pretty even exchange. 10-9 on the Queen of Pain and 8-7 on the Puck. So things really yet to heat up.
Yeah, I think Wadafaka has the edge here, but he needs to get his bottle. I think, yeah, it's on the way.
Yep, it's right here.
The bottle is on the way.
The cute little snail courier.
Really cute, this courier. I don't know where.
Yep.
Oh, it's called Snellford the Snail.
Snailford the Snail. Where do you see his name?
You can click on it, and then right next to it, you have a mini icon.
Oh, I see. We need sponsor. I love that on the ground there. That's awesome. So we are going to see a smoke here, though. It looks like Chen is going to smoke up. He does have a Satyr Tormentor. He's going to head towards mid, perhaps looking for an opportunity, but Solner is way far back and not going to be able to set anything up.
Yeah, Stallianer spotted the Nyx Assassin coming from the left. So he went back rightfully.
So the 4-minute rune going to spawn. It is going to be an illusion up in the top lane, and the Nyx Assassin going to be right nearby to keep it safe. Puck going to shoot the orb up, and he's going to go ahead and bottle up that illusion rune. So just going to head back to the mid lane. Solner does not have the bottle quite yet. Did go for an early null talisman and a whole bunch of tango. So going for that.
He has the bottle. He's bottle crowing.
Oh, is he bottle crowing? Oh, I missed it on the courier. Pardon
Yes,
me. I was wondering how. I was like, how does he not have a bottle yet? Yeah, so he's crowing. That's going to help him out a little bit. Still pretty even in the mid lane. I'm surprised at how well this Darkseer is doing up here, though. He is level 3. I feel like they could bully him out of this lane a little bit more. And, of course, as soon as I say that, Nyx Assassin gets up in his face and pushes him out of experience range. So the presence of Nyx, at least keeping him out of the lane. Faceless Void going to make his first big item pickup, which is a Ring of Health. Of course, does have those gray boots as well. So Faceless Void in good shape. Let's see what Anti-Mage is doing. Well, pretty much the same thing. Does have his Ring of Health and about 1,100 in the bank. 35 last hits. Still complete free farm for Nexus down here in the bottom lane.
I think both are going for the Battle Fury.
Yep, it looks like it.
I think both are going for the Battle Fury, and this Faceless Void has a Battle Fury as an accessorized item, so it's going to be pretty awesome to see.
I noticed that. I noticed that. The Faceless Void with the Battle Fury. It's a cute little touch there. So it's interesting. How do you feel about Void with the Battle Fury? Is that like the go-to item on him, or is that sort of a situational type piece?
That depends on if you have a free farm or not. The thing is, with those items, is that you can shoot out of control with farm. But if you buy them and don't have really good farm afterwards, it doesn't pay out. Because it doesn't really provide that much of damage. It provides some splash damage and a lot of regen, but...
Yep.
There we go.
And Queen of Pain gonna fall in the mid lane. Puck gonna be able to pick up that kill. Zonder gonna wander his way in, but it's gonna be too little too late. Puck hitting level 6 right away, dropping the Dream Coil, and gonna be able to take out Queen of Pain right within tower range. So that's gonna be the first blood is gonna go to the hands of Puck, right? Puck did get that last hit, yep. So, yep, Wadafaka.
It was only Puck that was there.
Yep. Well, yeah, make sure Creeps didn't get it. So he's just going to go ahead. Invisibility rune going to spawn up top at that 6-minute mark, and Puck's going to pick it up. So he's going to get those last 2 runes, and I think this mid lane now swaying in the way of the Dire. Puck actually still behind a little bit in farm, but of course that bonus gold going to be huge. He does have his boots now ahead of Starladder, which is huge.
He has
as well.
a whole level above Starladder in the middle lane because of that kill. And because Starladder shed for a little while with Rubik, the mid lane experience.
Yep. So, still the only kill. Just about to hit that 7-minute mark. A very slow. I think this is going to be a slow, passive farming game. We were talking about Battle Fury. And Anti-Mage committing to that route now. It's going to pick up the Claymore, another 600 in the bank. So he is just going to go Battle Fury first. And hey, why not? I mean, when you have complete free farm, there's really no option for NEXT.kz to move around and do much damage to him in the near future. We talked about Batrider being a scary counter, but Batrider's still only level 5, just farming away in the jungle. And Batrider doesn't get quite as scary until he picks up that blink, especially if he gets that blink really early. That's when he can really snowball out of control. So it's going to be a little while before they have a lot that they can rotate Anti-Mage's way. So I think that BF first is a smart play here, probably even before boots. And in the mid lane, Queen of Pain in big trouble. The Dream Coil gonna keep her in place. She is gonna survive though. Nyx coming in and drop the stun and the mana burn, but not gonna have enough to finish her off. Sorry about that.
I was thinking that the experience that NEXT.kz is giving to their supports is better than Radiant's. I think Rubik is not getting that much of experience. But I'm probably wrong. He's level 4, the same level as the Nyx Assassin on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
that Rubik hasn't been in a lane, and he's kind of sharing with the Void the experience at least. With the AM. As Mantis is just solo hitting this tower top.
Yeah.
Destroyed every single creep that was in his way.
Yeah, that's true. There's a small experience difference. Let's go ahead and take a look at the graph. 500 in favor of NEXT.kz, so you're definitely right, but
that's not much.
Yeah, not much though. Really, nothing too significant. Puck is going to back up for a minute here. Nyx Assassin going to take over the solo mid lane, so it'll give him an opportunity to level up a little bit. He is level 5, going to have Vendetta reasonably soon, and that's when Nyx Assassin, of course, starts to shine a little bit. It does get a little more scary once he can roam around and try and set up those kills. Stallcat.
Yeah, they have swapped a little.
Yep. Yeah, they're starting to swap now. Stallcat now level 6. He's actually going to move down to the bottom lane and try and contest this Anti-Mage a little bit.
Oh, middle lane?
And, in the mid lane, they're going to engage onto Rubik. Rubik going to survive. Nyx Assassin actually going to be the first to fall. That's going to make it a 1-for-1 exchange. Now it's just Puck and Queen of Pain, and they're both going to be sort of forced to back up here as they head towards home. So a quick 1-for-1 exchange. The 2 supports go down, and that's going to be the end of the engage in mid. Now 2-1. NEXT.kz still leading as we're about the 9.5-minute mark. Anti-Mage has lost lane control, though. He's pushed into the tower. Stallcat going to be able to pick up a little bit of farm on that Batrider. And it looks like Visage is going to go back and push. And, of course, I miss another kill in the mid lane here. Jesus. I keep expecting Puck not to be able to burst down that Queen of Pain so easily, but...
oh, yes, he is.
An easy kill in the mid as it may be.
I think that engagement a little while ago went a lot in the favor of NEXT.kz because they only have 1 TP. They use only 1 TP to come to the middle lane.
Up top.
And they gave a kill to the...
Yep. Sadoy almost in trouble. Rubik gonna pour it in at the last second. Might be able to save him. Chen gonna come from behind. Sadoy gonna fall. Now Zonder is stuck in the tower. He's gonna get roped. NEXT.kz is in a 3v2 right now, but they're diving the tower. Zonder gonna fall. Equal in the trees. Nowhere to go. He's gonna draw some fire from the tower, and he's gonna be able to wrap around by the secret shop. Mantis now being pursued by Starladder. Batrider gonna come in. There's the lasso. Is Queen of Pain gonna fall here? Doesn't look like it. Still has full mana. Gonna be able to blink away. But now Puck's coming. Dream Coil coming up in 1 second. There it is. Starladder going to be in big trouble. Illusionary Orb going to be enough to finish it off. That's going to make it 6-1 now. NEXT.kz leading the way at the 10.5-minute mark. Their tier 1 tower in the top lane down to about half hit points. So not a good exchange to say the least for CD up in the top, losing quite a few heroes.
Oh, there we go. We have Puck here again engaging on this
Visage.
visage, but that's not going to happen anything. Just going to trade
Yep. So
some blows. But I knew that. What the hell? I knew some friendly words exchanging. I knew that Puck had the upper hand on the middle lane, but I didn't know that he was gonna steamroll over this so hardly.
Yep. Absolutely. And it was well played by Bat Rider there as well. Just to hold Quap off long enough for Puck to get in, and that Dream Coil came up just in the nick of time right there. But all the while, Anti-Mage did continue farming away, and he now has that Battle Fury. He's taken out some of these triple stacks in the jungle here. So he did indeed go Battle Fury before Boots, and he does have a nice lead on that net worth chart, about 600 ahead of the Faceless Void here, who is close to his Battle Fury. He did go Boots first, so that did slow him down a little bit. Does have the Claymore and Broadsword, just waiting on that Void Stone. Up in the top lane, Sidoi may be in a little bit of trouble, but uh-oh, Queen of Pain was waiting by the side. It's a trap, and they activated the card. Starladder going to be able to pick up an easy double kill. That Sonic Wave doing a ton of damage. Bat Rider and Faceless Void going to fall for the bait on the Darkseer.
Did you see that positioning of that Queen of Pain?
Yep.
She was like right next to the secret shop behind the trees, and then they used the Darkseer to bait them out there at that angle, and then she could blow everything away. She could use her Sonic Wave and just to scream and kill everything.
And uh-oh, in the jungle, Anti-Mage going to be in some trouble. That's going to be an easy kill. A smoke from Reeves and Equal. And Nyx Assassin actually going to be able to grab that last hit. AM at about half health in the jungle with no stats, no boots. Boom shakalaka. Another smoke going to be used now.
They're moving middle.
Yep, Equal and Reeves headed through the jungle into the middle. Puck going to get engaged on. Puck going to fall before the fight even starts. Nyx going to come in. He's going to catch Zonder and Visage. And Zonder's going to fall. Now Visage in big trouble. He's getting chain stunned, chain CC'd. And is it going to be enough? Yep, down he goes. Starladder, however, does clean up the Chen. That's going to make it a 2-for-3 exchange here if you count the Anti-Mage that kind of started off this whole fight. The action may still be continuing, though. Stallcat alive in the mid lane. Lasso not up for another 15 seconds. He's just going to hang around. Wants to make something happen on that Darkseer, but not going to find an opportunity. It's going to make it 9-5 here now in the 13th minute. NEXT.kz still with a nice lead for themselves. And actually, gold difference is not existent right now. Just about zero. We're in a deadlock here at that 13-minute mark, despite NEXT.kz.
There's a kind of difference in the experience, because I think that the trades are just the same, just about the same. Probably the exchange that they've been doing in the gangs, like the Void was killed top, and then they killed AM. Oh, look at top.
Yep, up in the top lane, Darkseer going to get engaged on. Faceless Void going to use the ulti. Dream Coil going to come out as well, but they're going to get turned around on. Faceless Void going to be the first of all. Sidoi very low. He's trying to go toe-to-toe with Waka Faka, and that's going to be 2 easy kills for CD. Very nice team support. Zonder and Starladder are going to come in, and they'll keep Sidoi alive despite both the Puck and Faceless Void ultimates getting dropped on that poor little Darkseer there. But Ishkafel comes out victorious as he makes it back to the base.
Ishkafel, man.
Ishkafel.
Ishkafel. That's the name of Darkseer for anyone that didn't know that. I didn't know that.
The classic Darkseer name. Ishkafel there. So, and Queen of Pain going to be able to take that tier 1 tower in the top lane. So NEXT.kz, they were off to a brilliant start, but now they're starting to fall behind a little bit. That Faceless Void is now, unfortunately, 1-2-1 with that Anti-Mage. I guess his stats aren't much better either. He's 0-1-0, but Anti-Mage really starting to pull ahead on that net worth. Now about 2,000 ahead of the Faceless Void, as he's just been farming away in this jungle this whole time. Once you get that Battle Fury, of course, you see that farm just skyrocket. And with that tower pickup, we can actually take a look at the gold graph now, and we see, can't describe, up by about 2,500 gold now. So they are starting to pull ahead. I think Anti-Mage may start to slide away.
Yeah, and that's all. That goes back to the Faceless Void decision to go to Boots, and him going to fights early on without having his Battle Fury up and running, whilst the Anti-Mage was just farming, and he found the Battle Fury and didn't went into any fight. So he didn't have the opportunity to lose that fight like Void did, and that's why they're falling kind of short.
Yep, exactly right. And to be perfectly clear here, Void still does not have that Battle Fury complete. I think he has it now on the Courier, but just now finishing it. So that big difference in creep farm now. Anti-Mage at 132 last hits, face Faceless Void only at 88, and that difference coming from the Battle Fury timing. That's really the only way to say it. And Void getting killed right there, just the absolute worst timing when you're on that last piece, 400 gold to go for the Void Stone, and you get taken out. That really sets you back quite a bit.
Yeah, and but if you can check the levels, they're almost the same level. Like Anti-Mage is level 11, just one creep away from level 12.
Yep.
But the Void was ganked twice. He died twice, and he's still level 11. He's probably right behind him.
Yep. Let's see. Where's the Void here? Yeah, and he's only halfway through level 11. Not even halfway. Only about a third of the way. So, yeah, you're exactly right. That XP difference is going to start to grow a little bit. But we'll see what Mantis can do. He does have opportunity for recovery here. He does have the Battle Fury complete. So, still plenty of time. Yeah, things starting to heat up in the bottom lane. That tier 1 tower for the Radiant getting low, but there's some action in the jungle. Chen going to take out Darkseer to start off the fight. And Nick's going to be the second to die. Anti-Mage starting to move in here. He can do a lot of damage. Oh, nope, not going to blink around. Not going to find the path that he's looking for. So that's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. Pardon me. Darkseer did fall. NEXT.kz still not finding these cost-effective exchanges. Shen going to sacrifice one of his creeps there and give Anti-Mage a couple of extra last hits. Anti-Mage actually picking up a Gem of True Sight here. So that is going to unfortunately counter the Nyx Assassin. And I think Anti-Mage going to be able to get this tier 1 tower kill in the bottom lane. The glyph is going to be used, but it's just going to delay the inevitable here. Chen going to try and score the deny with the Dark Warlord or the Dark Troll Summoners, but not going to happen.
Yeah, Anti-Mage just man avoided the Nyx Assassin that was really low. He had no mana at all, and he had little to none HP. So he was able to splash a lot of damage to the Chen that was really next to him.
Yep.
And that netted the kills really, really fast.
Yep, exactly right.
They were fighting inside of the Darkseer's wall of replicas, so
yep,
that was almost a no-brainer to CD there.
Yep. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane going to fall for the Radiant, so that's going to take our tower score to 2-2 now. Let's see, yeah, both sides have lost 2 towers. Only the mid remains for NEXT.kz and only the bottom for CD, but that bottom tower is even almost in deny range, just about 100 hit points on it, so it's going to fall shortly here. We see Chen getting close to the mechanism. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at item choices here. Chen going to be very close, almost enough for that recipe. Blinks have now been picked up on Puck. He had that quite some while ago, and there's also a blink on the Bat Rider for NEXT.kz, so more initiation power coming out over there. Bat Rider going to just be so much more intimidating now with that flaming lasso. They sort of need to keep a perimeter around him to stay safe. Item pickups for CD, what do they have? They do have the Gem Visage. Looks like he's working towards an Og Scepter. Does have the Point Booster and the Staff of Wizardry. And Darkseer has picked up his mech already, so a small advantage there for CD having their mech a bit earlier. They are going to
just smoke now.
Yep. Going to smoke up into the Dire jungle, unfortunately. Not going to bump into everybody or anybody. Everyone on the Dire is sort of grouped around the Roche Pit, the mid lane, and that bottom rune. And looks like we are actually going to see some action in the top. Faceless Void going to come in, and uh-oh, Nyx Assassin going to walk right into it. He may be in a little trouble here. He did get to finish off Rubik before he went down, making it a 1-for-1.
Nice.
Queen of Pain did get that last hit. Yeah, Chronofield going to come out, almost taking down Queen of Pain, but the mech's going to be used. The lasso going to be used onto the Anti-Mage. No follow-up damage, though, and I think Stallcat may find himself in a little bit of trouble here. Sadoy going to fall, and wow. Anti-Mage going to be forced to blink away, and that's going to be a 4-for-1 engage. That fight just seemed like CD just rolled over. I don't know how they all died so quickly. I guess it was in that Chrono Field. I thought they had more damage left, but NEXT.kz coming out way ahead right there.
They were all
lagging,
they were
apparently.
all waiting to, yeah, they have a little lag issues here. That's the game's pause.
Yep.
The CD really wanted to smoke and just 4v1 the Void, the Faceless Void that he was farming, but as the creep wave was so pushing in tier 2 of the top Dire lane, they could see they had a pretty good vision of what's happening. They couldn't see that the Nyx Assassin was invisible and nearby, and he could just initiate on the Rubik and just destroy the Rubik right before he used Telekinesis on the Void to initiate.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that's why Void was able to catch a lot of people in that Chronosphere and just dismantle 2 of them, at least 2 of them. He got the last hit on the, I'm not sure if it was, oh, he got the last hit on the Visage, and then they could just finish off the Queen of Pain and
Yep.
everything else that was nearby. And that is so they're so close to their towers that NEXT.kz could just respond really quickly.
Yep. Oh, that's true. Yeah, the ports in it was an empty field, and then all of a sudden the whole team showed up. And
Yeah, that Chronosphere just stopped time. They were like, in the second that they initiated, they were 4v1. But the moment that the Nyx Assassin counter initiated, they were 3v2, and then the Chronosphere just made everyone equal.
Yep, and Anti-Mage did survive. Of course, he was the one holding the Gem of True Sight, so that is good news. And he does have a Yasha picked up with another 1,500 gold in the bank. So Anti-Mage surviving there is still a sign of life for CD. And he will be moving into a Manta, I would assume, reasonably soon here. Let's look at the net worth chart, see where we're at. Anti-Mage still a hop and a skip ahead, about 1,100 ahead of Faceless Void. But some of those factors we talked about earlier of between the Dream Coil, the Lasso, and the Faceless Void ulti itself, as well as even just the Faceless Void Bash going toe-to-toe with Anti-Mage, they still have a lot of lockdown, and he is still very, very squishy. So I guess it was a good call by Batrider to saw. I saw him get disabled. I was like, where's the follow-up damage? But just keeping him disabled bought NEXT.kz enough time to finish off the rest of the team while Anti-Mage was stuck in limbo. So
yeah, Anti-Mage wasn't even there at that fight that they just did, so he continued to farm away, and that's why he's a level above the Vessel's Void right now.
Yep.
But that's one of the reasons that they're focusing so much on that Vessel's Void, where NEXT.kz is not focusing that much on the Anti-Mage, because they know that it's kind of hard to focus him at this point. They have to dedicate 4 people, and that's not really optimal for the team, but CD thought that it was good for them to try it. It did backfire on them, though.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And right now, Puck is DC'd on the side of NEXT.kz, so hopefully he can make it back. And our game will resume. The goal difference, of course, it was in the lead for, it was in favor of CD, is now just about dead even. I actually can't see where the graph is dropping down to because the game is paused, but it's way back down into a much more even game, so that fight obviously...
Oh, the difference is about 1k. There's just only 1k difference in
1K?
XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the bottom stats, you can see the numbers, so only 1k is nothing.
Wait, can you really?
At this point.
Oh, wow, you
Yeah,
can
if
see
you
the
open
numbers.
the difference in XP, you can see the numbers.
Oh, I never looked. I've always just looked at the graph. I never even looked at those numbers before. Wow, that's great. It's awesome. All right, so Puck is back, though, connected, hopefully. What a fucka. What a fucka.
What the fuck?
Oh,
they
these-
just think that they have mass problems with lag at this point in time, and now they have a hotkey problem.
What a bummer,
But,
man.
yeah, it's go. It's a go.
Okay. So we're back in action, and like we said, a 1-for-4 exchange. Nyx, the only one going down for NEXT.kz in that fight, and everyone except Anti-Mage did fall for Team Can't Describe over on the Radiant. So everyone just going to kind of go back to farming here. Let's take a glance at items just to reacquaint ourselves with what's happening in this game. Starladder on the Queen of Pain has picked up 1 Oblivion stack and be working towards what could only be an Orchid Malevolence. And it looks like Sadoy on that Darkseer are going to pick up his plate mail. He's going to be working towards that Assault Cuirass eventually as well. So big items continuing to be worked upon by both sides. Faceless Void now has gone for that Mask of Madness to follow up that Battle Fury. Always a fun choice.
You can see the difference between the mid laners, how much Puck was successful compared to the Queen of Pain, when she only has the Oblivion stuff and her Power Treads, where the Puck just picked his second item. He bought the Blink Dagger and now has the Yule stuff, Scepter of Divinity.
Yep.
And that's going to be pretty important in this fight. They can disable one of the heroes early on, and then after the fight has gone through, they can just finish it off. That's really a good item. And they're gathering around the Rush Pit. I'm not sure. I think they want to try it with those chain creeps.
Yep. NEXT.kz is ready. I'm hanging these tabs here. Yeah, absolutely no vision for Can't Describe, so they have no idea what's going on here. Don't know if they're doing Rosh or if they're just going to move down into the jungle, which is exactly what they're going to do. Puck does have an invisibility rune bottled up, so they're going to scout around, make sure Can't Describe isn't in the immediate vicinity, And it looks like NEXT.kz is going to go ahead and put some pressure onto Roche. As you mentioned, those Chen creeps do make it a little bit easier. More units to tank.
Interesting decision by CD. Interesting decision by CD. They grouped 4 and did the exact same thing that they did in the last fight, the way they lost. They grouped 4, they smoked and they went to the dire jungle and find no one because everyone's around the Roche pit.
Yep.
And they dedicated, again, 4 people just to do nothing, essentially.
Yep.
Whereas NEXT.kz are just rushing and that's it.
Yep. So I guess a little bit of a gamble for CD. They didn't have any vision down in that corner of the map. I guess you could sort of infer, though, if you don't have vision there, you have a little bit of vision in the dire jungle. You see no one. They must be at Roche. So completely unchecked. And we're going to have another DC here. This time it's going to be Visage. So we're going to be stuck with another pause. But yeah, absolutely right. Of course, Aegis going to go into the hands of the Faceless Void, who's going to walk away that much happier. He does have a BKB recipe picked up in the stash. So I guess that clarifies where Mantis is going with his next big item pickup.
Well, the Roche, this Roche was really obvious for NEXT.kz because they had vision over their own jungle, the Dire, with their wards, and they could see where the CD team was heading. They were heading again there because they had a sentry ward there, and they could see through the smoke that every single player of the CD was again going to the jungle trying to gank, but CD had no vision over the Roche pit, just like NEXT.kz, but NEXT.kz knew where the other team was. So it was a really good decision by them, and Void now has the edges of the Immortal, and he's going for the BKB build. He has recipe, and he's going to farm the other components that he has. He's probably just 2k behind, and he's going to farm the rest of the BKB.
Yep. And Anti-Mage has now finished his Manta and has another 800 gold in the bank. So that is Battle Fury, Treads, Manta, and the Gem of True Sight that he's still hanging on to. Where do you think Anti-Mage is going to go next? I mean, is BKB going to be the next big pickup in his future, you think?
No, I think he's going for... that's only my thought process. I think he's going for the Basher.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Heart. Basher or Heart. Because if he can get off that Abyssal Blade on the Void while he's Chronosphere or before Chronosphere, they can finish him off during the Abyssal Blade stun. And
that's a good point.
That's one of the things that I think they're going to do. Or if he goes the hard route, the Heart of Tarask, he can just survive that Chronosphere probably until
hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Now that's a good point. I guess BKB really isn't that smart of a choice here. Now that I say it out loud, of course, Void it doesn't do much against, and I know.
Then you have the Batrans Lasso that goes through BKB.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and Dream Coil as well. It doesn't do damage, but it still stuns, right? So.
No, it doesn't do anything.
Dream Coil doesn't work at all through BKB.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just the lasso.
Just the lasso.
But it will be good. I think he bought the Manta just to be able to go out through the Waning Rift, the Silence of the Puck, and I'm not sure if it dispels the Dream Coil. I think it dispels the Dream Coil too. So the Manta is there for that already. I don't think that the BKB would be a viable solution. Yeah,
that's true. I always forget that Manta disjoints that stuff.
They can always go for a BKB. I'm not a pro player, but that's just my insight. I think I wouldn't go for a BKB at this point.
Yeah.
Plus, they need the damage. If Void already is going for the BKB, but I think he's going to have a lot more damage to provide than the Anti-Mage because of that bash. Because if he bashes inside of the Chronosphere, he deals a lot more damage than outside of the Chronosphere.
Yep.
Yeah, and that is going to be a deal changer when they're fighting. So I think Anti-Mage is going to need something that deals more damage.
Yeah, no, I think the Basher into Abyssal Blade makes the most sense if he wants to go aggressive. Like you said, the Heart is that opposite route if he wants to just go pure survivability. So I'm gonna just.
I really think that they want to go aggressive because they've been smoking like twice now.
That's a good point.
Ganking the jungle. I think they want to go aggressive and just finish it off because they know that late game Void is a better carry than Anti-Mage. I'm not the judge of it, but I think the Void is gonna be a better game changer late game.
Yeah.
Because that's Chronosphere.
Yeah, still stuck in this pause, unfortunately, but looks like Visage will reconnect, so we may have an unpause momentarily here.
Oh, but then he's going to disconnect again.
Oh goody, oh goody. So
Just to describe the situation for the listeners, we can see that Puck is mid lane, just farming away, and we can see it in the other side of the river. We can see Sidoy on the Darkseer, and Visage grouping with Stallianer on the Queen of Pain on the left side to gank him probably.
yeah, mid lane it may be heating up momentarily here. Reeves on the Nyx Assassin is near that tier 1 tower on the Dire side behind the Puck, and may try to hop in if something does heat up. But nope, I guess not. Everyone just gonna part ways from the mid lane. So
Yeah, they both have observer walls. They can see the other side of the river, the upper side of the hill. So
oh yeah.
probably they know that's not really a good choice to do.
Yep, so everyone's just going to hang out and keep on farming. I imagine NEXT.kz is going to be a little bit more passive here for the next couple minutes while they wait for Void to finish farming that BKB. He does have the recipe and about 1,600 in the bank, so he's pretty darn close, 1,000 gold or so. He's actually going to move down into the Radiant jungle. This is a little bit of a bold move. There's no vision from NEXT.kz down here in the Radiant jungle, and Void's just going to scoot in and start fading away. He does see a couple of them are in the mid lane. But a bit of a ballsy move from Mantis here, and luckily for him, they don't really have any vision either. There's going to be some initiation, though. Queen of Pain going to get caught, and Nick's going to be able to finish her off. The Dream Coil going to come out. Sidoy going to be in trouble as well. He will get the wall off. Anti-Mage going to come in, and he's going to be able to finish off Nyx Assassin. Now Nexus in hot pursuit. He wants to follow this Bat Rider. Stallcat in big trouble. Down he goes. Anti-Mage going to be able to pick up an easy double kill. Void going to be coming in here. He's going to engage on Sidoy. He's going to try and surge away. He's going to survive. Zonder going to fall, though, and what a fucka, still alive, hiding in the trees. And I think he's going to be able to orb out here. The Visage Familiar is doing a lot of damage to him, but not going to be enough for the kill. Visage finally going to fall. And that's going to be the end of the engage, just like NEXT.kz going to come out ahead. A 2-for-3 exchange with only Darkseer and Anti-Mage surviving. So that was sort of a fight of the carries picking on the supports, from what I gathered. The squishies died and the carries lived on both sides of the coin.
Oh man, I think that this went really well for NEXT.kz because they picked up that Queen of Pain, and having a Queen of Pain that's doing really, really poorly, like this Queen of Pain, she's going to matter less and less with each minute that goes through. Yeah, that's a good point. That goes back to the lane dominance that Puck did.
Yeah. So this fight is going to lead to a tier 2 tower kill in the mid lane in favor of NEXT.kz. They're pulling ahead on the tower chart as well. They've only lost 2 and they've taken out 4, and that's going to contribute to that gold lead they've set up for themselves. About 4,500 gold ahead right now as a team, as we are halfway through the 24-minute mark in this series. I always want to say game 1 of this series, but Starladder is all best of 1 for this first month. It's just the round robin style, so it's just one game. Yeah. That's it.
And as the moment that we were saying that Anti-Mage would go for something like a bash or something, no. Where did he go? He goes BKB. That's the only thing that I thought that he wouldn't go.
All right, well,
probably needs it. I don't know.
So I'm going to steal back some cred because I think I suggested the BKB, and I was you talked me out of it, and it did make sense. I still, looking back now, I think the BKB could be a little bit of a mistake here, just because
I still think it makes sense. Yep. Probably he just wanted the BKB because of the Firefly and the Sticky Napalm.
Yep.
That he can move freely around and just turn around.
In the top, Nexus was farming up on the Dire side of the river. He's going to get caught in the Faceless Void ulti. Reeves going to come in. He's going to stun. They rotate it perfectly. Anti-Mage without even the chance to blink. He's going to drop the gem. Reeves going to be able to pick it up, and that is a big kill for NEXT.kz right there. We're going to move into another pause, unfortunately, but there you go. That's just the power of the CC chain that we were talking about. Faceless Void versus Anti-Mage. Once he hits that certain damage threshold, Chronosphere becomes oh so irritating, especially at level 18. 5 seconds of just one-on-one time with Faceless Void and Anti-Mage.
Dude, how is this Faceless Void pulling out so much farm? I mean, he was just a minute ago he was 1k behind the BKB. Now he has the BKB and he has 1,600 again in his bank after this assist that he got from the killing the Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The Anti-Mage was just going through the jungle farming, just like Void was going through the Radiant jungle farming.
Yep.
But now they thought that they could kill him and catch him, and they did it well because all of his teammates were in the base. They were right to the next to tier 3.
Yep.
You can see here the Visage, the Rubik, and the Queen of Pain
And the
just like the
Darkseer.
Darkseer around, yeah, exactly, and the Darkseer around the tier 3 tower, while the anti-mage was balls deep in the jungle, in the Dyer's jungle. So I think that was a great decision. That was a great pickup, and I think this could, if they could get to the Faceless Void and the Nyx Assassin right to the middle lane, they could probably push, but I'm not sure they have no Chronosphere. Probably they don't want to fight that and force that tier 3 just yet.
I guess Mantis and Reeves had that moment. The light bulbs came on, and Mantis said, "Wait a second, I've seen this strategy before. Let's kill him. He's all alone."
Yeah, wait a second. He's not farming his jungle.
Wait a
Let's
second.
just farm our jungle and farm him. And yeah, it did happen.
Right.
So
some serious connection issues in this game. Oh man, poor Wadafaka.
Yeah, poor Wadafaka. But the biggest problem here by Anti-Mage dying was that he's their main carry and he dropped the gem of True Sight.
Yep. It's
That's
a double
important.
whammy.
Double whammy. Yeah.
Double whammy.
And here, Wadafaka, I don't know, man. I think it's CIS thing because both teams are CIS and both teams had their timeout issues, disconnections. They said that they're lagging. I don't know.
I got another question for you, though, boss. Is there a way to turn off the Dota TV chat so I don't have to see this fake Dendy trolling?
Oh, yes, there is, of course. I haven't turned it off. Can you see the right side corner, top corner? You can see that there's an X and there's an I icon.
Eyeball, spectator
Click the
chat.
eyeball, and then there's spectator chat.
Ah, man. All right, well, our first official VOD is going to be ruined by the trolling of one sad soul on this Dota TV chat. Because I didn't realize that you could just turn it off that easily.
Oh, yes.
I will say, though, I wish that little eyeball was not next to the X. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally clicked on the X instead of the eyeball, and that is infuriating. Oh, man.
You gotta be careful. I don't know, man. Lately, I haven't been really good at clicking stuff, so I've been doing that too. So.
My clicking skills, they've just gone out the window.
Yeah, I don't remember myself being so bad at clicking stuff, but guess I am. And selecting. I'm just horrible.
All right, so Puck gonna come back. Of course, Queen of Pain gonna drop right after. Everyone's back in the game. I think it may be time to make it happen. Now, I do want to talk about items very quickly here. So I did mention Sadoy on the Darkseer with a plate mail working towards what I thought would be an Assault Kuros. He does have the Shiva's recipe in the bank with another 700 gold, so he's about 2,000 off finishing the Shivas, which makes sense as well. So I just wanted to correct myself there. Other item pickups that we have since missed during all that action, we talked about the stuff that Anti-Mage has, Visage working towards that Og Scepter, but the only other item that we've seen picked up besides the BKB in the hands of Faceless Void is the Force Staff in the hands of Stallcat on the Bat Rider. So even more mobility on the dreaded Bat Rider. Going to make him that much more scary.
And Puck has 3k gold in the bank. I don't know what he's going to buy. I think he can go for a Dagon, but I'm not sure.
You think so?
Probably just a Shapestick, but...
Yeah. I was going to say a Dagon. I mean, he could. If they really wanted to burst down this Anti-Mage and keep picking on him.
Yeah.
He's going to pick up the Mystic Staff, so there you go. But we do see Faceless Void really for the first time about to pass Anti-Mage on the net worth chart, partially because Anti-Mage has been dead for a full 70 seconds now, and Void is going to be able to pick up some solo farm here. The rest of NEXT.kz, though, they're going to join him in the Radiant side of the map and take out the Tier 2 tower in the top lane. That leaves only one outer tower remaining for our Radiant side, and that is in the bottom. All the while, it looks like CD wanted to push that middle tower, the Tier 1, but they did have to give up hope. Reeves on that Nyx Assassin in the Radiant jungle just roaming around. Looks like he wants to pick on that poor Darkseer, but I don't think he has the damage to make it happen. His life just got a lot easier now as he's the one holding the gem instead of the Anti-Mage. So he can be a bit more aggressive. He's vendetted. He's roaming around the Radiant jungle. One of his buddies going to come down, Bat Rider, with a double damage, but they are wise to it. And Anti-Mage and Darkseer do head back to the base.
Yeah, and that exchange in the towers was pretty awful for CD because they wanted to push the Tier 1 and probably trade for the Tier 2 top. The Tier 1 for middle lane.
Yep.
But because the Tier 1
get
middle lane is pretty important for NEXT.kz because they have so much control of the map. So such a big control of the map with that Tier 1 tower. They wanted to trade it for the Tier 2 top of theirs, but they couldn't do it because there were two TPs from NEXT.kz and they could also finished the tier 2 top.
Yeah.
And they just canceled the push. They didn't know if they should fight or not. I think that they shouldn't. I think they did the right call, but I probably they should have defended. But they're trying to avoid the team fights because they know that Chronosphere and NEXT.kz is kind of stronger right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely right with that. The Aegis going to disappear out of the inventory of Mantis. Not going to get burned. It will just despawn. That means Roche is coming up in a couple of minutes here. We do see a Vlad's picked up by Chen, so more aura action coming out to help support the team. I think that's always a good item pickup, but oh, we're going to see a smoke from NEXT.kz. It's going to be Nyx Assassin, Faceless Void, and Chen roaming down the river around the bottom rune, which happens to be an invisibility, and they're going to move down into the Radiant jungle here. They want to start a fight. And they may be able to find somebody. Putt going to be nearby as well. They're going to go straight in. They're going to catch the Visage. Chronosphere going to come down. Visage going to fall. Sadoy going to fall shortly after. Stalianer going to get a nice ultimate off, but the damage going to be minimal. NEXT.kz starting this fight off with picking up 2 kills. Going to go straight onto the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage going to be able to blink away, and there's just no follow-up here. Nyx Assassin going to take a lot of damage. Will be able to Vendetta to survive. Does have 15 charges on that Magic Wand. Still no one on NEXT.kz going down. Batrider going to go in. He's going to blink forward. Going to catch the lasso on the Anti-Mage. Barely going to be able to survive, but it will be enough to secure the kill on the Anti-Mage, as well as the Quap and the Darkseer. It's a 5-for-0 exchange, and that'll be enough for Can't Describe to tap out. The GG well played. NEXT.kz takes the game 24-12 in just 29 minutes.
Oh man, I don't know, man. That Chronosphere was pretty awesome, and he was going for the fastest player. Was going for for what was it called, Daedalus. Yeah, he was going for the Daedalus for the crit item, and he almost had it. And that was the fight without any Daedalus. Imagine if they had a Daedalus. I don't know, man. He just got 2 in the rear back end, and when the Battle Rider used the Firefly when he was running out, they could have a greater vision of what was happening behind him. So Void could just jump in and use his Chronosphere on two heroes, I think, and they were clutch heroes. So
Yep, that's all it took. A good initiation, take out 2. It's a 5v3, and there's no coming back from that.
And that big KB from my